Welcome to today's Farm Life. I'm Doug Cunningham. We're in Mitchell talking with Rocky Niewenhuis with Farm Bureau Financial Services, talking about something that I thought we should dig a little deeper in, some of the challenges facing today's farm families, whether it's benefits or the cost of those benefits, that type of thing. First of all, Rocky, thanks for joining us. And I'm curious what you hear or what you talk about when your customers come through the door. What are you hearing about some of those challenges?
Biggest thing we're seeing, I mean, we go out and do farm reviews with our customers. They come in here, whatever the case is. We're just seeing inflated costs in everything in the ag world. So from input costs to benefit costs, I mean, health insurance being a big one, and we're going to touch more on that here in a little bit. But it's just everything is inflated, and in the last 18 months, building materials, that type of thing, crop inputs. From seed corn to fertilizer, all that stuff, the supply and demands, it's tough, and it's just causing increased prices that went up more than normal.
How about some of the challenge that they face? Let's say a young couple come in here with two young kids. One of them works full time, maybe he works part time, just so they can maintain what they see as a quality of life that they want to have their kids grown up in. I mean, that's like two full-time jobs.
It's crazy what you're seeing, honestly, out there. You look back, 30, 40 years, and I just kind of relate back to myself. Grew up on a farm, and I mean, folks lived on the farm. We both worked on the farm. Kids helped out when they could, and I could call myself a true farm kid. And this day and age, it's mom working in town and dad working a part-time job, at the elevator, whatever the case is, and it's just tough to make ends meet, and benefits being the big one. And we talk about health insurance specifically. They're having a lot of times, that's why they're working in town, to get health insurance through their group provider and that type of stuff. So it's not the same as it was some years ago, that's for sure.
Now, that's a good point. Even if you have that job in town, some of those benefits are starting to shrink as well.
Right. You're even seeing that, meeting with my business owners around town and what they're doing. I mean, it's hard enough for them to find employees, but then they're also being a little restrictive on their benefit package, and where they used to maybe pay for, the employee, plus they pay half of the spouse or half of the family. They're maybe paying just the employee's benefits and health coverage, and they're cutting it back. So now they got, we'll just say the spouse working in town, and she's getting her health covered, but the two kids and the husband you were just referring to, she's having to pay out of pocket, out of her paycheck. So it's a lot of time spent in town and not getting a lot for it. So
I'm going to stop you right there, because I know your team has come up with some solutions to try to help some of those challenges. I mean, if you're dedicated to preserving your way of life on the farm, your team has stepped up to actually help do that, help them out.
Yes, they have. South Dakota Farm Bureau has had a lot of pressure over the last several years with the expense of farming families, and more specifically young farming families, and not being able to afford to be a true farming and ranching family. Farm Bureau stepped up to the plate last year, and they brought to legislation in the state a proposal for a South Dakota Farm Bureau health plan. They got that approved effective January 1 of 2022 here. We now have a health plan option that is a South Dakota Farm Bureau health plan. It's been great. Some of the stuff we're seeing with it has been very interesting. Some pretty good savings. Well, actually, some really good savings in some scenarios, and definitely helping some people out, where that young family can now maybe think about the spouse not having to work in town, or the husband not having to have that second job, and he can maybe raise a few extra head of cattle or farm a few more acres, because he's saving some substantial money in the health world, and still having his family covered, and he can sleep at night where he knows he's got the coverage. So I mean, it's that real.
And now, Rocky, I think that a lot of people would feel comfort in the fact that somebody is trying to step forward to help protect a way of life that they really want to preserve for whether it be them or their family or the generations to come.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the one thing I really like about Farm Bureau and South Dakota Farm Bureau in general. I think we really have the concern out there for the farming families. I mean, farmers and ranchers in South Dakota are, I mean, they keep the state rolling. In South Dakota, they have stepped up. I mean, if you look at it, who else would do that and come to the table with this plan that's, I mean, really, targeted to really help these young farming and ranching families. So it's been good.
Now, if let's say I have the wife and kids, and we meet with these expenses every month, we struggle to make those expenses and get that insurance. I would suggest they would come in, but if somebody's having sleepless nights or concerns about benefits or insurance, at least come in for a checkup. I mean, I hate to use that terminology like hospital, but at least come in for a checkup.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've talked to a lot of people. Again, like I said, this started in January 1st of this year, and we've been talking to a lot of families, both in agriculture and just city folks or entrepreneurs that they have to pay for their health insurance too. So I guess my suggestion would be, if you're having those thoughts and you're curious in it at all, it doesn't hurt to reach out to us. We'd love to, do that checkup with you, if you want to call it that. Give us a call. Check us out online. Website for general with this whole health plan deal is just livewellsd.com, or contact us directly here at the Mitchell office or any of our offices, and we'd love to help you out. Once we have an initial conversation with you, we can schedule an appointment. Either you can come into the office. We'd love to come to your farm, come to your place. We drive all over the the central part of the state to meet with folks, and sometimes even further. So absolutely would love to see if we can help some people out.
I would like to see you help people too, because I would like to see you help preserve. And I hats off to you guys for helping to preserve the way of life that I have come to love, and I know a lot of other people do too.
Absolutely. Yep. And I'm, like I said before, grateful of South Dakota Farm Bureau stepping up, and we're going to do our part on the financial service side to get the product out there and see if we can impact some families.
Thank you very much, Rocky, for taking time out. It's a complicated issue. I mean, and we're not trying to make light of it, but it is a complicated issue that we need to take a serious, hard look at for a lot of folks.
It is, absolutely. And I appreciate the time coming out and meeting with you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rocky Niewenhuis here at the Farm Bureau Financial Services in Mitchell. Remember, feel good about what you do today, because what you do today is very important. Until next time, for today's Farm Life, I'm Doug Cunningham.